A few months ago, I touched on a topic that seemed to resonate with many: the creeping numbness of brain rot. The response was significant, with many people asking a simple, desperate question: how do I fix this? I want to give you the answer right now and save you a world of time. The cure is to put down your phone, log off of social media, step away from the screen, and reconnect with the tangible, meaningful parts of your life. But here's the catch. You already knew that, didn't you? The problem isn't a lack of information. We're drowning in self-help videos, life hacks, and productivity tips promising a magical fix. The real problem is that we know the cure, but we refuse to take the medicine. The real question we need to ask is, why aren't you doing what you already know you need to do? There is no shortcut. There's no secret app that will magically reclaim your focus. The endless search for a clever trick is just another form of procrastination. At the end of the day, the fundamental question remains: are you taking the necessary actions, or are you not? Most people will hear this, nod in agreement, and then immediately get lost in the scroll again. I'm not perfect. I've fallen into that trap myself, wasting precious hours I can never get back. But every time I do manage to break free, every time I put the phone down and let my mind simply exist, I am stunned by what it can create. I'm shocked at the clarity and creativity that emerges when it's not tethered to a screen. One concept that forces this clarity for me is the thought of death. It's a topic we often avoid, but its power is undeniable. When you truly sit and contemplate the fact that you have one, and only one, chance to exist, that this entire experience is finite, your priorities shift. Are you really going to spend the only existence you'll ever have staring at a glowing rectangle, fully aware that it's holding you back from everything you claim to want? And imagine a time-lapse camera has been running in your room your entire life. On your deathbed, you get to watch the playback. What will you see? Will you see a life of purpose, creation, and connection? Or will you see a silhouette hunched over a screen for hours, days, and years on end? The thought alone should be absurd enough to spark a change. It's so simple, yet it's not easy. And that simplicity is where the power lies. I once wondered why Nike's slogan, "Just Do It," became so globally iconic. It's because it cuts through all the noise. For anyone trying to change their life, get in shape, build a business, create art, the journey is plagued by procrastination and the search for a perfect plan. But all the planning and research in the world are meaningless without action. You simply have to do it. People make fortunes selling you the idea of a shortcut because they know people want the results without the work, but there are no secrets. If you want to lose weight, you have to eat less and move more. If you want to focus, you have to eliminate distractions. The path is almost always clear. The question is, will you walk it? Whenever I find myself making excuses, I ask one powerful question: what is the alternative? If the answer to fixing brain rot is to get off your phone, what's the alternative to doing that? The alternative is to remain in the cycle, to keep scrolling for hours, feeling that gnawing emptiness, and repeating it day after day. Let's be honest, mindless scrolling isn't even enjoyable anymore. You're not smiling or laughing. You're a zombie, passively consuming content that you'll forget in seconds, feeling worse about yourself afterward. This brings us to a crucial distinction you must make. On the internet, there are only two roles. You are either a consumer or a producer. The vast majority are consumers, endlessly feeding on a buffet of content. The producers are the ones who build, create, and share. They are the ones who gain leverage, influence, and fulfillment. You can use the most powerful tool in human history to build a life of your own design, or you can use it to distract yourself into oblivion. The choice is yours. Of course, not all consumption is bad. If you are actively learning, gathering inspiration, and using information to fuel your own creations, then the screen is your ally. But I'm talking about the hypnotic drain of short-form content, which I believe is almost entirely without value. True knowledge and insight come from deep engagement, from long-form content that allows for nuance and reflection, something a 30-second clip can never provide. Getting started is the hardest part. The initial resistance is like a steep hill. But once you push through it, once you start building momentum in something you genuinely care about, a strange thing happens. The work becomes more fun than the distraction ever was. It feels wrong to waste time on TikTok when you know you could be building something meaningful. That resistance never fully disappears, but you get stronger every time you overcome it. So. Here is the actionable step. Disconnect from the noise to reconnect with yourself. If you must be on your phone, shift from being a passive consumer to an active producer. Create something, share something, build something. If you don't, you're simply wasting your one and only life. We are here on this tiny blue dot for a flicker of cosmic time. We have the most powerful tools in history at our fingertips. To waste that opportunity on flashing pixels is a tragedy. N. Don't let your life be a story of regret. The price of inaction is a life you never lived. You know what you need to do. Just do it.